Rapper Gunna's next shot in his fight to get out of jail ahead of a trial. He has a bond hearing later today.
Hey, what's up? This your boy Big Man. You already know what it is, man. So let's get right to it. Okay, today we're going to continue talking about Gunna. Now, earlier today I was talking about Gunna and the situation he had as far as his changes in the court case. It looks like there were some new developments and there might have been some light at the end of the tunnel when you consider Gunna possibly getting bond. Well, the judge came back with a decision today, and it looks like for the third time, Gunna has struck out in court. He's not going to be able to get bond. Now, I think that there's some reasons for that, man. I think there's some real legitimate reasons for why the judge made this decision and why it's highly likely that Gunna and Young Thug are going to be stuck in jail until they go to court, man, until the trial begins, until either they're found innocent or guilty, man, in this situation. Now, before we get to the specifics, though, and talk about all the details and the changes in the case and the decision today, do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and man, let's get it. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about this news report from earlier today, man. Let's actually check out this clip.
Rapper Gunna's next shot in his fight to get out of jail ahead of a trial. He has a bond hearing later today. The rapper, whose real name is Sergio Kitchens, was one of dozens indicted on RICO charges earlier this year. He's been in the Fulton County jail since his arrest in May. In a statement, his lawyer tells us it's time for that to end. They hope the court will agree to release Gunna on a reasonable bond.
Now, that was an earlier report, just letting it be known that Gunna has been locked up since May and that his lawyers thought that he would have an opportunity to get an earlier bond because there's talks about the court case being pushed all the way into March. So before we get into that, let me show you another report that details that.
The trial for Atlanta rappers Young Thug and Gunna.
Both could be stuck in jail for a few more months, waiting for their day in court if Fulton County prosecutors get their way. News Edge reporter Tyler Fingert is at the live desk tonight to explain. So, Tyler, what's going on?
Well, Christine, Fulton County District Attorney Fonnie Willis filed this 10-page motion this afternoon to delay the trial of Young Thug, Gunna, and 26 other defendants in a large RICO case. The delay request all has to do with the fact that more than a quarter of the suspects don't have attorneys yet. The writing on the wall was clear for Fulton County District Attorney Fonnie Willis. In a motion filed Thursday, she asked for a delay in the racketeering case against Young Thug and Gunna. In the motion, Willis says 8 of the 28 defendants in the case still don't have attorneys, months after their indictments. She's asking that the trial, which is currently scheduled for January 9th, be delayed until March 27th to give the defendants time to get a lawyer. In the motion, she writes, a continuance to the final week in March would protect the speedy trial rights of those who have asserted those rights, while also ensuring that the additional 8 defendants have properly prepared appointed counsel. Young Thug and Gunna's real names are Jeffrey Williams and Sergio Kitchens. Both sit behind bars along with 23 other co-defendants waiting for trial. Prosecutors believe Williams and Kitchens led a street gang called Young Slime Life. The DA's office says the two, along with their associates, used violence, drugs, and even murder to make money. The Thursday motion also said the defendants should be tried together because they participated in the same conspiracy and similar evidence would be used in each trial. In the motion, prosecutors write that they are concerned about the inconvenience and trauma of repeated testimony of witnesses who were the victims of violent gang crimes. The judge will look at the motion later this month and make a decision. We should point out attorneys for the rappers have repeatedly denied the charges. At the live desk, Tyler Fingert.
Okay, so in this court case, you can hear from that news report that the DA's office has filed a motion in order to get this case pushed forward to March of 2023. Right now, it's scheduled for January 2023, and that's already an extension on what everybody thought as soon as they would be going to trial, right? Now, when it comes to Young Thug and Gunna, they got arrested right at the beginning of this, in May's time frame. So they've spent a lengthy time already in jail without getting their bond approved, and it looks like they're going to be spending even more time, essentially 2-3 more months in jail. And their lawyers are like, man, if we're going to be extending the court case out, we should be trying to give them a better opportunity to have him bond. Now, I believe that Young Thug and Gunna have both went up to bet 3 times and struck out each time when it came to getting bond. Now, it seems like there's a big reason for that. So let's look at one of the reasons, or the main reason that was outlined in this Uprock story. So in the story, it talks about Gunna being in court today and exactly what went down. Now, it also goes on to say these things. It says, it looks as though Gunna will remain locked up until his January trial date on racketeering charges after his third request for bond was again denied, according to Billboard magazine. Judge Ural Glanville agreed with prosecutors that there was a chance Gunna could intimidate or otherwise tamper with witnesses, despite protests from Gunna's legal team that there was no evidence that he's a danger to anyone. Basically, they're saying that, the prosecution and the DA's office in this case is painting the picture that Gunna could go out there and have the potential to tamper with witnesses or either intimidate witnesses if he was set free. Now, no judge hearing that would let that person out because they don't want any system or any situation where that could happen, because that could come down on them in a major way. That could be really bad for the judge. So he has no choice. It's almost like his hands are tied. He's like, yo, I am not going to let you out if there's a potential that you could intimidate witnesses or if that you could tamper with this case. You know what I'm saying? So, man, it continues by saying these things. So let's talk about it. It says Gunna was indicted in May, along with Young Thug and over 20 other members of their crew YSL on dozens of accounts of violations of the Racketeering, Influence, and Corrupt Organizations Act, also known as the RICO Act. Prosecutors say the label, Young Stoner Life, was actually a violent street gang, Young Slime Life, and is responsible for acts of murder, armed robbery, drug dealing, and more. The inclusion of the rappers in the indictment has drawn criticism from observers, including fans, fellow artists, music industry moguls, and even lawmakers in other states, for its use of the artist's lyrics to tie them to the criminal activities of the alleged street gang, with many calling the move a racist application of the RICO Act. Now, there are petitions and even, man, there's been mentions in other states of creating these laws to where your rap lyrics will not be used against you. Because let's be real, man. Let's keep it honest. Gunna rapping about Young Slime Life and YSL, how do you make the determination that he's not talking about Young Stoner Life, the label, and Young Slime Life, the alleged gang, you know what I mean, and criminal organization? It's hard to make that determination if he's a rapper on the label Young Stoner Life. Like, I don't understand that. And it seems like lately I've been defending Gunna, but there's too many contradictions in this situation. It's hard for me to believe that Gunna is a threat to people out there. Now, there might be a possibility of that. We'll start to hear more as the case comes to light. But right now, I just don't see where these things match up. And especially, this is where that last part is important, about the lyrics being tied to the case. Because Gunna is only in this case for one count, and that's being a member of being involved with the RICO Act. You know what I'm saying? Being a member of an organization. You know what I mean? And the way that they tied him to that was through posts on social media and rap lyrics, him actually saying YSL. So this is like, there's validity in that. Two things could be true at the same time. Young Thug and other people throughout YSL could be claiming a gang. I don't know if they were or not, right? And Gunna could be saying, yo, I'm YSL as in Young Stoner Life, not in a gang. You see what I'm saying? But I don't know. What do y'all think? Y'all tell me what y'all think. Is it possible that Young Thug and Gunna are getting a raw deal here? Or is this just court? Dealing with a RICO case is a big deal. You're going to have these ups and downs. And eventually, if they're innocent, they'll be free and we'll see how it works out then. Or is there just a possibility that, man, the DA's office could be confusing a lot of this stuff and really implicating people in things that they're really not involved in, man. Now, I don't know that for a fact, but like I said, we'll see. Y'all tell me in the comment section, man. Now, with that, this has been your boy, Big Man. Do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And make sure you hit that notification bell so that way you get a notification every time I drop this side content. And we out of here. Peace.